Welcome to So True. And today's devotional is entitled Living with Dying, and it's based on the text of Ecclesiastes 7, 1-4. In fact, I want to read that text. Solomon is writing, and he says this: "A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. Better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will take it to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by a sad countenance the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth." Just recently, I came across a rather strange and interesting website called deathclock.com. On this website, I was asked to answer a few questions regarding my date of birth, mood, and body mass index. And after entering the data and clicking a button, a calculation was made as to the projected day of my death, with the countdown clock immediately beginning to count down the minutes and seconds. According to the website, I'm set to expire on Sunday, July the 9th, 2034. Make sure you're in church for that one. And if you're going to send me a gift, make sure you get it done by then. You can even download the death clock for your computer and watch it constantly count down the seconds and minutes of your life. While this is all rather morbid in one respect and morose, there is, on second thought, some merit to the idea of coming face to face with the reality of our shrinking lives. Thinking about one's death can actually have a redeeming quality to it. King Solomon, in the text we just read, says that it's better to spend time at a funeral than at a feast or a festival. And the wise person thinks much about death. They take that issue to heart and they're made the more wise by it. There is something rather sobering and salutary about contemplating one's own demise. The Bible is clear that giving thought to the end of life can help us make a true beginning in life. Because whatever a man would wish to do on his last day, he ought to seek to do every day. Meditating upon death is a valuable act on a number of fronts. Firstly, meditating upon death produces a zest for life. Solomon says that the living take death to heart and live all the more for it, Ecclesiastes 7:2. We could also go to Ephesians 5:15-17, where we're told that death teaches us to seize the day, right? As we redeem the time, we do the will of God with greater passion and greater capacity. We should not be taken up with the fear of death, but with the fear that we have not truly or fully lived. Secondly, meditating upon death produces humility. The thought of death has a way of shrinking us down to our proper size and reminding us that God alone is great. God alone is eternal. Do you want an example for that? Think about Abraham in Genesis 18:27, where he said, "I who am but dust and ashes have taken it upon myself to speak to the Lord." The consideration of his own mortality brought about humility in Abraham and exalted God all at the same time. Thirdly, meditating upon death produces repentance. When Jonah came to the city of Nineveh and cried, quote, "Yet 40 days and Nineveh shall be overthrown," the whole city repented in sackcloth and ashes. You can look that up in Jonah 3:3-5. Death brings a meeting with God where we will be judged, and therefore the thought of death should light a fire beneath our repentance, making it a burning desire of the first order. Fourthly and finally, meditating upon death produces a godly contentment. In the midst of his losses and crosses, Job reminded us, quote, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there." Job 1:21. Death strips us of all things material. There are no U-Hauls behind hearses, right? And if that's true, and it is true, that forces us to turn from the insatiable desire to accumulate things. It rearranges the price tags of our life, putting a lasting value on the treasure that Jesus is. As these benefits show, living with dying is a good way to live. I hope you'll take that to heart. You'll be the wiser for it.